Hello all! If you didn't catch on by now, I've been calling this chapter 7, but this is chapter 6. I'm a moron. So this is chapter 6, day 4. It's about rational exponent. So rational, we know, means fraction. You can write it as a fraction. So here we can see if you have an exponent of 1 over n, that's the same thing as the nth root of a to the power of 1. That denominator is the index, and the numerator is the exponent on the radicand on the inside. So then here, anything that's written a to the power of m over n, that would be like the nth root of a to the power of m. So again, that denominator is the index, the numerator is the exponent on the radicand on the inside. So first thing we're going to do is convert from exponential form into radical form. So here, x to the power of 1/4 would be the 4th root of x to the power of 1, right? Which we typically wouldn't write the 1. 15n to the 1/2 would be the square root. We typically don't write that 2 out there. Of 15n to the power of 1, which again, we don't usually write the power of 1. We typically don't write the 2 or the 1, so they would be invisible. 24 to the power of 1/3, that would be like the cube root of 24 to the power of 1, which would be 1. Tells us to simplify if needed. So we could go, 6 times 4. 4 is 2 and 2. 6 is 2 and 3. So here we've got 3 2's to bring out a 2. The 3 is stuck. So that'd be 2 cube root of 3. Boom. All right, so that is how you convert there. So let's look down here at some that have more than one term. So we have AB to the power of 3/4. That would be like the 4th root of AB to the power of 3. Well, then we know from our exponent rules that 3 on this product would go on to A and B. So that's like the 4th root of A cubed, B cubed. Negative 6x to the power of 3. That'd be like the cube root of negative 6x squared, right? So to simplify that, that's like the cube root of negative 6x times negative 6x would be 36x squared. And let's see, are there going to be any any triples in 36? There are not, so that is simplest form. All right, number 9, I want you to look at. You can see that 1/2 is just on the 12w, so I have 7 outside of, this would be a square root, so invisible 2, of 12w to the power of 1. But 12, we're going square root, so there are pairs in there, right? 12 is 4 and 3. The square root of 4 is 2. 3 is stuck. So 7 times 2 would be 14. Square root of 3w. All right, so that's how you convert from exponential form to radical form. Now we're going to go in the other direction. So on these, they are already in radical form, you can see. We're going to take them to exponential form, so working backwards. So this would be 16 to the power of, invisible exponent on the inside is 1, index from the outside goes to the denominator is 3. So we have 16 to the 1/3. Here we have xy, it would be to the power of 1 over invisible, index out there is 2. Except I can't just write it like that because it's the entire xy to the power of 1/2. So I'd have xy in parentheses to the power of 1/2. Same thing here. The 8w, the entire 8w to the power of 1/4. Right? And so on. This would be k to the power of 5/4. You can see the pattern happening here. This would be 3m to the power of 7/2, because there's that invisible 2 out there. Here we have 9x7y to the 4th. That entire thing would be to the power of 1, and then the index is 3. So that's going from radical form to exponential form. So the question, why in the world would you need to convert? Well, because we know that when we're working and adding and subtracting like radicals, they have to be like. Although in some situations, you can actually work with them if they're not, because they're just kind of hidden, and they can be if you work with them that way. So we'll look at some of these. So we're going to rewrite an exponential form, use the exponent rules to simplify, and then get it in simplest form. So like here I can see I'm multiplying like bases. Well, if I multiply like bases, I would add the exponents. So here I would do 1/3 plus 4/3. Well, that gives me x to the power of 5/3. So then when I take it to radical form, because that's where I want my answer, I'd have the cube root of x to the 5th. Well, if I'm making groups of 3 out of 5, I can make one group with 2 leftovers. So I have x cube root of x squared. Same thing here. When I multiply like bases, I add the exponents. So 1/4 plus 3/2, right? So that would be p to the 7/4. So then that would be the 4th root of p to the power of 7. So if I'm making groups of 4, I'd have one group and 3 leftovers. So I have p 4th root of p cubed. All right, looking at 21, remember when you divide like bases, you would subtract the exponents. 5/2 minus 7/4. So that would be like having m to the power of 3/4. So when we change it back, that would be the 4th root of m cubed. I can't make groups of 4 out of 3, so that would be it. New one, power of a power. Remember when you have power of a power, you multiply the exponents. Right, so I do 1/3 times 5/2, so that would be a to the power of 5/6. So that would be the 6th root of a to the power of 5. I can't make groups of 6 when I only have 5, so that's it. So you're using all of those exponent properties that you already know. Just now that you have rational exponents, which means you're going to have fractional exponents. All right, here, 32 to the 1/2 to the 1/2. Again, power of a power, I would multiply. So this is 32 to the 1/4. So that would be the 4th root of 32 to the 1st, which would just be 32. I'm definitely going to have some numbers in there, right? So that would be like 16 and 2. 16 is 4 and 4. We know that these would all be 2 and 2. So making groups of 4, here's 4 2s to bring out a 2. This 2 is stuck. So I've got a smushed it answer, 2, 4th root of 2. All right, 8x squared to the power of 2/3. So remember, when you bring a power into a product, you take it everywhere. So this would be 8 to the 2/3, right? And then x to the 2 times 2/3 would be 4/3. All right, so then I could rewrite it. I can see they both have a base of 3. So I've got a cube root, that would be my index. So I should have said denominator, not base. They've got a denominator of 3, so that's the cube root of 8 squared x to the 4th. So we know that 8 squared is going to be 64. We have 64 x to the 4th. So if I'm making groups of 3, I know that I can make one group of x's, and I'm going to have a leftover x. 64, let's see, the cube root of 64 is not pretty, so I'm going to break it down. I can go 8 and 8, and then I know my 8s would go 2 and 2. Oh, what was I thinking? Yeah, it is. The cube root of 64 is 4, right? The cube root of 64 is 4. I should have checked that first. So then I have 4x on the outside, cube root of inside, I had no number left. I just have x. All right, ooh, these negatives are really bad on this worksheet. You can see this is a negative 1/2. So remember how you get rid of a negative exponent is you move it to the other side. So this would be like 1 over 100 to the power of positive 1/2 when it's in the denominator. So that would be like 1 over the square root of 100. Well, the square root of 100 is 10. Muy bien. Here's another negative. You can't see it. So when you multiply like bases, you add the exponents. So 2/3 plus a negative 1/3 would be 1/3. So then we're looking at the cube root of 16 to the power of 1 is 16. 16, I could go 4 and 4. Those go 2 and 2. So making groups of 3, here's 3 2s to bring out a 2. This 2 is stuck. So we're at 2 cube root of 2. So these are all those properties of exponents. So the struggle might be in remembering those properties. All right, negative 216 to the power of negative 1/3. There's a negative there. So that would be like 1 over negative 216 to the power of positive 1/3. So that's 1 over the cube root of negative 216. Well, we know the cube root of a negative is a negative. Hey, and I remember this one, unlike the one back there. The cube root of 216 is 6. So this would be 1 over negative 6. Right? Sometimes it's worth trying them if you don't remember what your cubes are before you go through them. All right, negative 1/4 power. So I could make this 7 over 112, right? The numerator goes to the denominator, so the denominator to the numerator to the power of 1/4. So then let's see, 7 over 112 is the same thing as 116 to the power of 1/4. You can reduce 7 over 112. If you didn't see that you could reduce that, that would still work out as you reduce as you go through. So we have the 4th root of 1 over the 4th root of 16. Well, the 4th root of 1 is 1, and the 4th root of 16 is 2. So we're at 1/2. All right, I'm going to start skipping some here as we go through. Or maybe I shouldn't now that I look. So here, we can't multiply these together as radicals because they're not like radicals. One's a cube root and one's a square root. But if I make this v to the 1/3 times v to the 1/2, then when I'm multiplying like bases, I can add the exponents. So 1/3 plus 1/2. So that has me sitting at v to the power of 5 over 6. So when I go to radical form, that's the 6th root of v to the 5th. So if I'm making groups of 6 out of 5, that's an impossible task. So that is done. Same thing on this one. I can't multiply a 4th root by a square root, but this is like r to the 3/4 times r to the 1/2. Multiplying like bases is adding the exponents. So I'm sitting at r to the power of 5/4. So I'm sitting at 4th root of r to the power of 5. So that means I could make one group of r's and I would have one left over. So I'm at r 4th root of r. See what we can fit in here? We have 4 over the cube root of 4. Well, that's like 4 over 4 to the 1/3. 4 has an invisible exponent of 1. So when you're dividing like bases, you subtract the exponent. So 1 minus 2/3. So that's like 4 to the power of 2/3. Well, 4 to the 2/3 would be the cube root of 4 squared. We know that 4 squared is 16. We've broken down that so many times to know that it's going to be 4 2's. So if I'm making groups of 3, I have a 2 out and a 2 in. So I'm at 2 cube root of 2. I know I'm a dork, but I think these are like fun little games. Same thing here. We have 7 to the power of 3 over invisible 2 over 7 to the power of 1 over 2. So if I'm dividing like bases, I subtract the exponents. So 3/2 minus 1/2 would be 2/2, which is 1, right? And 7 to the power of 1 is just 7. 33, this is like x to the power of 10 over 4, right? Well, 10 over 4 would be 5 over 2. So that's going to be the square root of x to the 5th. So if I have 5 x's and I'm making groups of 2, I can make 2 groups and have a leftover. So I have x squared, square root of x. See if I can fit the last one. We'd have 25m squared to the power of 1/4. So that is, I bring my exponent inside. So I'd have 25 to the 1/4, m to the 2/4, which would be 1/2. So then I'd have 25 is 5 squared to the power of 1/4, it's